Oh, it's you. Come on in. Welcome to the Scumm Bar.
Welcome to Scumm Bar Podcast, episode 69, where we talk movies, video games, pop culture, books, drunken dwarves, and everything in between. I'm your host, Mattbrush, and with me today, the most drunken dwarf I've ever witnessed.
When I was a young boy, people called me Anth0z.
Hello, Anth0z, how are you?
I'm fine.
When I was a young warthog. When he was a young warthog.
Hey, that was good.
Thank you. That was good on your part, too. You had no idea I was going to throw you a drunken dwarf line, and you did it.
I did it. I had to.
Well, good job. How you doing, Anth0z?
I'm doing.
You doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing.
Cool.
I sure am doing. Did you know it's Canada Day tomorrow?
I did know it was Canada Day tomorrow. Yes.
For anybody listening, we are recording this the day before Canada Day, and here in Canada, we like to celebrate Canada Day, where we make appreciation for maple syrup, for
Beavers.
the letter Z,
Moose.
meese,
Or meese.
Canada meese,
Or maybe, wait, is that the plural or would it be moss?
mooses,
Moosei.
Canadian bacon,
Igloos.
igloos. Yeah, that's more that's like up in the Yukon,
Yeah. Yeah.
Northwest Territories.
And poutine.
Poutine, that's true. Mayonnaise, very Canadian.
Mayonnaise is a
Ketchup
Canadian
chips?
thing, really? Oh,
Well, we like to put mayonnaise on a lot of stuff.
Okay.
ketchup
Ketchup chips,
chips.
for sure. Yeah, that you
Yeah.
can't get that in America.
Robin
Okay.
Sparkles is a big thing for us.
Robin Sparkles, yep. Yep. The Canucks.
The Canucks, yes.
Yeah. Oh, the
Canuckin.
Toronto Raptors. That's the only
Oh,
Canadian
yeah.
NBA
I
team.
remember that. The Grizzlies versus the Raptors, man. Yeah. They used to have their little, like, flags.
Aw, look at you.
Yep. Wasn't even a basketball fan.
Yeah.
What else is Canadian?
Us?
Molson Canadian?
Yeah, Molson.
We are Canadian, right? We are.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I don't know, but tomorrow we celebrate it, so.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, how do you feel about it? You excited?
I don't know. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I'm not entirely excited.
Yeah, it's been weird with COVID going on. I mean, my family normally does a big thing at the beach, and we all have this big, like, Canada Day thing. Sometimes fireworks. Well, not anymore, but we used to have fireworks when I was a kid. But yeah, now nothing's happening, really. So my fiance's family is having a little pancake breakfast thing that we're going to, but that's about it.
You're going to? So you're going somewhere for that?
Yeah, we're going to go to their house for the pancake breakfast, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought there was like a specific restaurant that has like pancake
Oh,
breakfasts on
No.
Canada Day.
We're just going to
Okay.
make it and have our maple syrup.
Nice.
And I work for a bank, so the stat holiday. I think a lot of people get the stat holiday anyways. But yeah, it's the middle of the week, so it'll be a Wednesday I get off. It's really weird. You got to work Monday, Tuesday, and then you get Wednesday off. So
And then go back to work for 2 more days.
then you go back to work for Thursday, Friday. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. But hey, whatever. I'll take it.
Yeah.
A day off is a day off.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm taking the day off as well.
Nice.
So it'll be nice. Yeah.
You gonna make pancakes?
No, I'm gonna pick up sushi.
Oh.
And so actually,
Very
okay,
Canadian.
so tomorrow's my birthday, and that's why. So I'm having
what?
lunch with.
I
Yeah,
didn't know your birthday was tomorrow.
I think you did, but it's okay. I think.
I actually had no idea. I mean, this is not a defense thing. This is just a comment that I don't have social media, or I don't use social media, so I get no reminders on birthdays. So
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I have to either memorize it or I just hear it from people. It's
Yeah.
the only way I get birthdays. I had no idea it's your birthday tomorrow, though.
Yeah.
Well, happy soon-to-be birthday.
Thank you.
You'll get a message from me tomorrow.
Sweet. Looking forward to it. So it's also my sister-in-law's birthday. So lunchtime will be, we'll have, I'm gonna pick up sushi and have some stuff with my parents, and then for dinner we'll be with my wife's family, and yeah, that's how we celebrate tomorrow.
Cool.
This year.
Any special birthday things you like to do normally? That or surprises that maybe you're expecting?
I'm not expecting any surprises, but in terms of things that I like to do on my birthday, I don't think there's any one thing that I tend to do on my birthday, to be honest. I think because every year it's just been so different, and knowing that, like, so being a holiday and being summertime, like a lot of the time when I was in high school and growing up, you know, people would be out of town or there would be some, like, everybody would have plans, so I would just try to figure out, like, what day can I spend time with who.
Yeah.
I think in most cases I'd be with my family on the day of and find some time to hang out with friends on other days. So tomorrow, it's just gonna be a family day, which is nice because you know, throughout all this, and I think also because I'm getting older, I do want to spend more time with family.
Of course.
So, but in terms of any other kind of tradition, I wouldn't say I have any, but a couple. I think there were a few years where I went to Steveston because they would do the salmon festival.
Oh, okay.
And so in the Steveston village, they have like the parade going and a whole bunch of stalls and activities, a whole bunch of stuff going on. But obviously that's not happening this year. Otherwise, a couple times I've watched the fireworks, the Canada Day fireworks that take place over at like Waterfront Station or Waterfront Center, or maybe you see it from Waterfront, but it's happening like elsewhere. Yeah.
They do it on the water, don't they? The boats.
They probably have like
they have a floating dock or whatever. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Floating docks are always better than the non-floating docks.
yeah. The submerged docks. Yeah.
Yeah, those ones don't work out too well.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
Yeah. So that's me news anyway.
Weird. It's like, you know, Canada Day, but also Anth0z Day at the same time.
Yeah.
Day of Anth0z.
It's. Yeah. Oh, I just remember what I used to do, and I haven't done it in a while. So, when I was in high school, for a couple of my birthdays, I'd go to like the Dog's Ear. I don't know if it's still around, but where you go to like print shirts.
Yep.
So I'd print like Canada Day / my birthday shirts.
Wow.
And it was just me back then, just
guy.
like I was that guy calling attention to me. How about me?
You're the guy who goes, "Happy birthday," and somebody goes, "It's not my birthday." And you go, "Oh, I always thought we had the same birthday."
Yeah.
Then they go, "Happy birthday."
So reluctant. And then eventually, so I had a couple of shirts. Eventually I made a tank top. I mean,
it's pretty cool that your birthday is also on the holiday, so that's actually kind of nice.
It's different.
The day off from work, no matter what, you're guaranteed the day off. That's
which is
awesome.
Nice, yeah. So, I think last year or the year before, I made underwear.
For all to see.
Well, yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I wanted to make something that wasn't for everybody else to see, because, like, I didn't want to be so, like, out there. So maybe next time I'll make socks. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
So socks is nice, yeah.
Yeah.
A hat would be kind of cool.
Yeah, or like a bandana.
You can make like a logo out of it, so it's like a little bit more subtle.
I should make a logo.
Yeah, you should.
How would I
3D print a logo.
Ooh, 3D printed logo. Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah. It'll be like the front of it will be my face, and then like as you turn it around, it's like a maple leaf that's being whooshed in the wind or something.
It could be like Last of Us. Your face could be morphing into like a fungal maple leaf kind of thing.
Into a rotting leaf. Yeah, cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try it.
All right. Well, we'll get into the podcast then, I guess. Moving on outside of our personal lives. Let's move into a segment that we like to call Ye Old News.
Ye Old News.
So today, I confess, I don't have any news, and it's not because there's no news in the world, it's because I haven't really been paying attention to it. So I haven't had my phone for about a week now. I left it with my fiance's parents when I went off somewhere for vacation kind of thing.
On a floating dock.
On a floating dock. And so I just haven't had it. And so I've been focused on work and my personal life. And it's funny how little not having the phone has really changed my life at all.
Because now you're going crazy. I saw Mattbrush today with a straight jacket on. Tears running down his eyes.
One thing that has changed is I don't really know what's going on. Which is fine. I really don't care. But I was kind of weird. It was weird when I was trying to build notes for this episode. And I was like, I don't have anything for news. I have no idea. If something released in the last couple of days, I don't know. And if there was an announcement for something, I'm not really too sure of it. So
yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll get your phone back.
You're going to handle it. You're going to handle this whole conversation.
I've got all the news today.
Sweet. Thank you.
And I got tons, but I'm probably not going to go through all of it because that would take a whole episode.
Well, whatever you think is interesting.
Sure. Well, okay. This is kind of interesting. That there's a rumor going around that Disney is casting for Ezra Bridger, who was one of the main character, or like the mainest character in Star Wars Rebels. So I guess there could potentially be some upcoming Disney Plus show that's like a live action show that would revolve around the Rebels.
Do you think it's possible that would just be in The Mandalorian, though?
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. Because they were already casting for Ahsoka.
Right.
That would make a whole ton of sense to see that happening for
Well, because Rebels, from my understanding, didn't get the best ratings during its run, and they ended it earlier than they expected to end it because of that, I think. And so I would assume if they were to make a live action Rebels, they're now changing the Rebels fans who were on, my understanding was that they were on the younger side. They'd be changing the Rebels fans to the people that watch Mandalorian, which I would say are the older side. So it'd make more sense, for it to be Mandalorian, I think.
I think that makes sense.
And like you said, with Ahsoka coming in, I'm excited for the next Mandalorian, whatever it may be. I was curious with the first season. I think they did a good job, and I want to see more.
Yeah, definitely.
And also, you throw Ahsoka in there, and man, I'm excited. It's fun.
Yeah. And I still picture that last scene where, I forgot his name, but the guy who plays the mirror in Once Upon a Time, the TV show, and he's holding the Darksaber.
Yeah. Oh, right, yes. Yeah. At the end when he breaks out of the TIE fighter.
Yeah. What is his name? Senior Hoffman?
He's the guy from Breaking Bad.
Oh, he's in Breaking Bad too?
He's the Los Polos Hermanos owner.
Nice.
I can't remember his name though.
Cool. That guy.
Gustavo Frayne.
Gus Bembury.
Hey, he's a good actor though. He's in a lot of things. He's also in Community. I think he plays Pierce's brother or something. Yeah, something off like that. Anyways,
yeah. Right.
Doesn't matter, but yeah, good actor. Yes. Yeah. Cool. What else you got?
In some other news, so coming July 3rd, also on Disney Plus, it's a Disney Plus day. The musical Hamilton is going to be available to stream.
I don't really know this play. I know the general idea, Alexander Hamilton, and I know the main song. I think the first song. I've heard that sung, but I know none of the other songs. I don't really know what the play does.
I don't know anything either. I've just heard that people really like it, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's expensive to go see it. It's very exclusive.
It's like the musical to watch on Broadway.
I just know that his name was Alexander Hamilton. I just know that song.
Isn't this the one where it's like hip hop and like rap based?
Yes, it's rappy, it's hip hoppy. I'm not really into that scene, but I like good musicals. I'm a sucker for musicals. So if it's as good as people say, I'm excited. Yeah. But that style of music might turn me off a little bit. So I did like the main song though, the Alexander Hamilton song, but it kind of, I think it's the very beginning because it's kind of an overture. It kind of tells you the whole play's story. And then I think the play starts after that, right? So you hear everything in the first bit.
Oh, okay.
There's a video I watched on YouTube. I don't remember where I found it, but it's Obama and his wife, and they're watching the dude. What's his name?
Alexander.
The guy who made the whole. No, sorry, the director who made the whole thing.
Oh, Louise.
Yeah. That guy.
Why can't I? Oh no, it's not Louise. Lin-Manuel Miranda.
That's the guy, Lin-Manuel Miranda. So there's a video of him, and he was doing the performance of this song to Obama, and they're just kind of watching it. And I don't know if he had the play done at that point, or if he was just writing it or something, but it was pretty interesting. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I was like, oh wow, they turned it into a real play. So they watched the play version of them doing that song. I was like, okay, and it looked good. So I was like, okay, that's cool. But I know nothing about the play or anything else. I know that he moved on, Lin-Manuel Miranda, to help out with Frozen, I believe, or maybe it was what was the other one? The Moana. He helped with making Moana.
Oh, cool.
And I'm assuming Frozen 2 as well, because he's now mixed up with the Disney scene. He ended up being the Bert kind of character in the Mary Poppins Returns movie. So he's very much tangled with Disney. So
wow,
it makes sense now that Disney is now putting Hamilton onto their Disney Plus platform. So
yeah, oh cool.
That's my 2 cents on that. If I had anything to say, that's about it.
Well, I feel 2 cents richer.
Good. What else you got?
So this is a little bit sadder note, but Sir Ian Holm died. So Sir Ian. Am I saying it right?
Oh, is that Bilbo?
That's Bilbo.
Oh no!
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh.
Really
well,
sad.
he was in the Hobbit movies when they brought him back. He was looking quite old. I mean, it was to be expected, especially after Oh, I'm butchering it. What was his name? Christopher Lee passed away as well.
Oh, yeah.
You knew Ian Holm was next because both Christopher Lee and Ian Holm couldn't leave England. They were not in good enough health to be able to fly to New Zealand.
Oh, really?
So they had to film both those actors on sound stages in England instead of New Zealand. So I knew it was going to be at some point, but I honestly would have thought that it was earlier than this.
Oh,
so
wow.
good on him for lasting as long as he did. If anybody wants a really interesting take on Ian Holm, I listened to the what is it called? Radio drama of Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
So BBC did a radio drama of Lord of the Rings, which is a bit of a shorter. Well, it's definitely a shorter form of the Lord of the Rings. I think it's about 30 hours or so, and it goes through the 3 books, but it's written as a play almost. It goes into quite a bit of detail. I'd say it's longer than the movies. Well, it is actually if it's 30 hours. I'm actually going to redact that. I'm going to say it's about 20 hours or so. I think it's closer to about 20 hours, but it's Ian Holmes plays Frodo. So I believe that's actually why he was cast as Bilbo. Is because this was in the 80s, I think it was, when they did the radio drama. So he's younger, and he plays Frodo, and he does a really good Frodo in that.
Ah, cool.
So if anybody out there is interested and they really want to hear an awesome Ian Holm playing Frodo instead of Bilbo, then listen to that radio drama. It's really well done.
Cool. Yeah, so he was 88. He passed away actually on June 19th, and it looks like the cause of death was Parkinson's disease. So I think he's been suffering from that for some time, right? So yeah. So sad news, but it was great to see his works while he was around. And I didn't realize he's actually had like quite a long career. I think because he let's see, when did he start? His first year, I think. Best supporting? Yeah, so he won Best Supporting Actor for one of his first films in 1968.
Oh wow!
So
holy smokes.
he's been doing some good work for quite a while. So good for him. And actually, sorry, he has some stuff from before that. Honors and Awards, Evening Standard Award, Best Actor, nominated work for Henry V in 1965. So even before that.
He acted a long time, and he's amazing as Bilbo in Lord of the Rings. Obviously, I'd say that's the most popular thing he's done, but he was just a really good actor. Mm-hmm. But again, all I know of him is Bilbo, and then also playing Frodo in that radio drama. And I just searched it up because I remembered there was somebody else in the radio drama who was also young at the time who was in it. Okay. And I couldn't remember who it was, and I just searched it up just to make sure I knew. So it's Bill Nighy. So he plays Sam Gamgee. So you've got Ian Holm as Frodo, and then Bill Nighy as Sam Gamgee. So they are very good in that, and it's worth a listen. I don't know how long it is, but it's totally worth a listen.
Oh, cool!
I had a lot of fun going through it.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, it's 26 half-hour stereo installments.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
So it's a 12-part series, 26 half-hour installments.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, it's fun. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on that.
Nice.
But yeah, that's sad to hear that he went. Luckily, it wasn't something COVID related. Sounds like it was fairly natural in the end of the day.
Yeah.
Lived a long, healthy, happy life. So good for him.
So on lighter news, so this was, I noticed this the other day. I was actually really confused about it because on my YouTube feed, there was a video. Actually, no, it might have been on Reddit. Either Reddit or YouTube. Somewhere I got some sort of notification saying that a Rick Rolled video was posted on YouTube. So I went to it. I'm like, why? And I can't remember what the caption was, but yeah, it says something like,
"We're gonna give you up."
No, it's something to do with like, this is the link for people who want to know. And like I was looking through all the comments, and everybody was like I'm just putting my name here so I can be like marked in history or something. I'm like, what are all these people talking about? And then I kind of like backtracked and finally found out. So this video was posted in a Reddit post, and this Reddit was actually like the subreddit was this Reddit post was made by Rick Astley himself. So
oh wow.
So he posted a picture from him like when he was much younger, and then somebody replied to him. The reply was just like, "OMG, like Rick Astley, is this really you?" And then Rick Astley responded, "Yes, it is." And so then that person then again responded saying, "I can't believe this is you. Like I haven't seen you since I took a picture with you back in whatever concert, and like thinking about it just gets me so excited." And he has a link to where he posted the picture, or so he says.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so then you see the next response from Rick Astley, and it's like the clapping, like applause emoji. So
Right.
you go to that link where the guy said it was a picture of him with Rick Astley, but it was the video of Never Gonna Give You Up. And
That's
so,
well done.
So it's literally, he is the person who Rick rolled Rick Astley.
That's awesome.
And that specific link was uploaded to YouTube, so people could go to that specific version, even though it's the
Wow.
exact same song. There's no difference, but it's just literally. So anyway, yeah, he like that Reddit post just blew up because everybody was like, "I can't believe you rickrolled Rick Astley." It's like, it's history, internet history.
That's pretty good.
I think
That's
it's good.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
funny.
And good for Rick Astley for going along with it, not like seemingly not hating the fact that people are.
Well, I'm sure that the Rickroll stuff, as much as he may or may not hate it, it's definitely made him more famous throughout his years. So
Yeah. Well, I think I read in an interview that he kind of like, he's definitely acknowledged the fact that like this is how a lot of the generation now knows his music.
Yeah.
And I think he just appreciates the fact that they're able to still like reach him that way, or he can reach them this
Sure.
way. And he also acknowledges that, yeah, like this music and my music video back then, like it's the 80s, it's cheesy stuff, like
Yeah.
that's just what it is. Like he doesn't pretend to think his stuff was all the greatest,
Right.
like, trendy things that are still good now. He knows that it's like a very dated stuff.
It's awesome though. It is a time capsule of the 80s, so it really encaptures it in that video. There's a few 80s videos that really capture it, but that's one of them for sure.
Yeah. And I will never forget Rick Astley's dancing. I don't think it's bad dancing. I actually like how he moves. It's so quirky but natural. I like it. It's very charming. Yeah.
I feel like I dance like Rick Astley.
I think so too. It's very charming. I got a couple more things. I'll just kind of run through them quickly. But so, couple things for Pokemon were announced coming up soon.
Pokemon.
And-
Ash and his friends.
Ash and his frames in
Frames.
Pokemon. So one is called Pokemon Unite, and it looks like it's supposed to be a MOBA, like a multi-online battle arena.
Holy cannoli.
It looks like it's
Really?
supposed to be, but actually it's not.
Oh.
So you get into a team of 5, and you battle so together you battle Pokemon and catch them together, but you try to do that faster than the other team of 5 does it. So you're not
Is it
battling
made by
against the other.
Niantic? Who's it made by?
I don't know. I think
Pokemon
it's
Company.
by Pokemon Company. Yeah. And I also think
Tencent. Developers Timmy Studios and Tencent. So it's kind of just the Pokemon license being licensed out to another publisher.
okay.
What
Anyway.
is up with them? Can Nintendo just finally make the game that everybody's been asking for since the 90s?
I know it's never
It's
gonna
kind of
happen.
crazy.
It's never gonna happen.
I remember on the Wii when someone showed the motion controls of the Wiimote. So this is 2005. This is back when like they called it the Revolution.
Oh yeah.
People talking about throwing the Pokeballs with the motion controls of the Wiimote.
Yeah.
And then there was actually a game, I believe it was like Dark Battles or something like that was going to come out. And everyone was thinking, is this going to be the game that's online? Because the Wii was online. And we're going to be able to have like an MMO kind of game. There was already Phantasy Star for GameCube, so we saw the online capabilities of something like that.
Yeah.
And they were like, is this going to be the first one? So that was like 2005. 15 years later, we still don't have an MMO for Pokemon.
Yeah, that's what they're working on. And to top it off, I mean, this isn't as bad news, but the other announced Pokemon game is Pokemon Snap coming for the Switch.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, exactly.
That's
So
great.
I don't know why, but I really liked the first Pokemon Snap.
It's popular, man. I used to watch my friends play it too, and it was because I never had an N64, so I'd always have to play those games at friends' houses. It was so weird to me. Like I was like, why would you like that? But when you are sitting there watching them play, it was like, oh, there's nothing else like this. Nothing else was similar to that game.
Yeah. So I guess maybe that's why it was just so unique, and that's what made it fun. But so I'm just double checking. How long is Pokemon Snap on Google? Nintendo 64. So the main story, 5 hours. So I mean, it's a very quick game. Like you can go through it like really, really easily, really quickly. But
Are they just calling it New Pokemon Snap? Is that what I'm seeing? It looks like it's just called New Pokemon Snap.
Oh, interesting. You know what? think it is just called New Pokemon. Yeah, you're right. It is just called New Pokemon Snap.
It's an interesting title, but at the same point, why sugarcoat it? That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
It'll work well for modern day platforms because they could just come up with, let's say, 5-hour experiences and then do expansions later on as they build more levels and all that. So they don't even have to make a base game that's huge. They can make it in smaller segments and have different episodic releases if they wanted to. With a game like this, it can continue on without needing sequels or anything. It could just be added on with just add-ons.
Yeah. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. We'll see what happens when the game is out. I kind of feel like that's the kind of thing that the Switch technology could really be utilized. Like for example, because there's so much when it comes to how much you can sense, like the whole weight shifting and vibrations, like all the sensory stuff.
Yeah.
And like when you're in the game itself, like you can only see whatever is like directly in front of you, but I feel like maybe getting some of the sensors to let you know like how close another Pokemon might be coming up to you, like from behind or something. And anyway, I feel like this could be a really good use for the Switch, but we'll see what happens. Cool. And my last bit of news is wow, these are good segues. I went from well, this one is for Smash Bros. So they recently announced some new Mii Fighter costumes. So there are 6, I believe. Yeah, so not huge news, but
new characters. Ooh.
I thought it was by the thumbnail, but no, they teased me. So the Mii Fighter costumes, and I think because of the costume, or like the costumes themselves kind of imply certain fighting styles, like they're all slightly different.
Oh, okay.
So one will be Ninjara from ARMS. I never played ARMS, and
that was the Switch launch title.
Yeah, but I did hear a lot of good things about it. And then there's Heihachi from Tekken.
Heihachi.
And then from from Splatoon, there are Callie and Marie, or Mary, or something.
Okay.
And then from Fallout, there's Vault Boy.
What?
Yeah.
Holy smokes, that's weird for Nintendo.
Yeah, so I guess cool.
Yeah, I guess Nintendo's just branching out a little bit more on that. Interesting though.
Yeah, I mean Smash Bros is kind of just collectively everything, so I wouldn't be surprised if like, eventually we get Godzilla or something.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my news.
Weird. I'm trying to look up the Fallout one, but they didn't have a photo for it.
Oh, what? There should be a
Vault Boy mask.
Smash Bros. Mii Fighter.
I was just on the
Oh, sorry.
wiki.
Did I say Vault Boy? I meant to say Yeah, Vault Boy.
Yeah, it's Vault Boy. You had it right.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it here. I just had to go to the images, but on their wiki at the time, it was a broken link. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. So you get a Mii character, but it actually looks quite a bit like the Vault Boy character. So it's almost like adding Vault Boy without adding Vault Boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of a weird way to go around it, actually, but it doesn't matter. It's kind of interesting they're doing it, but
yeah. I wonder if there's like a really big thing when it comes to the Mii fighters. I know that when I played on my friend's Switch, they had Thanos built, and I don't know if that was something that they customized themselves or they downloaded it from somewhere.
Oh, weird.
I don't know how that works, but yeah, I guess there's just more flexibility when it comes to the Mii fighters, I guess.
Mii's, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I just typed in Thanos Mii, and yeah, you can see people have, like, built them. It's just a built Mii, though, so, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Oh, okay, cool. Do you have anything else for news?
That's my news.
That's your news. All right, well, in this podcast, what we got to do next is move on to topic number one.
One.
Do you want to go first?
I mean, yeah. Sure, if you want.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Shoot.
So, I might have done something similar like this before, but I can't remember, so we're going to do it now.
Perfect.
Okay, who would you cast for live-action versions of these following cartoon/CGIs? And you can also give input.
Ooh. Okay, cool.
So I'm going to start a little bit obscure, but Battletoads.
Who would I cast as Battletoads?
Yeah.
How many Battletoads are there? There's 4, right?
I thought there were 3.
Oh, is there 3? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
There's like a green one, and there's a darker green one, and there's like a pretty yellow one.
Who would I cast for Battletoads? Let's see. I would cast. Are they're CGI or they're?
Well, I guess yeah. I mean, you can just say however you think would be best for this one.
I would do a very Ninja Turtles-esque movie where they're CGI, but like hyper realistic CGI, I guess.
Okay.
And then I would use live action, obviously actors for the voices.
Yeah.
And I think they would do the motion capture as well. And what I would do is I would do Chris Pine.
Oh.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Ooh.
And what's his name? The guy who plays Heimdall. What's that?
Idris
name?
Elba?
Yeah, Idris Elba.
Whoa.
So I would do those three together because they're all a mix of brute strength but also funny. So you need comedic for these characters.
Yeah.
But you need them to also be strong kind of physiques. So I think that those three characters could do the motion capture of them really well, but also just like have a really funny voice to add to it. Plus Idris Elba has this British accent naturally that I think would be kind of funny to hear from the Battletoads.
Nice. Wow, those are good picks. Those are
Plus you would also get your stereotypical characters. There's the goofball, Chris Pine.
Pine.
Or I'm sorry, Chris. Did I say Chris Pine?
You said Chris Pine.
No, I didn't mean Chris Pine. I meant what's his name?
Chris Pratt?
Thank you. Chris Pratt is who I meant, not
okay.
Chris Pine. I'm sorry.
Nice.
Chris Pratt is who I meant. Chris Pratt would be the goofball, the funny character.
Yeah.
The Rock, he would be the leader character, and then you'd have Idris Elba for like the smooth, charming kind of character.
Okay, interesting. And you know what's funny? I actually was gonna say Chris Pratt too. So I think that's
There you
consensus.
go. Well, he fits it. I don't know why, but he just fits it.
Yeah. So yeah, Chris Pratt will be a Battletoads. You've heard it here on the Scumm podcast. So he's one of mine, and then
Nice.
one of my others. So I know it's kind of odd to put this because I guess what I remember of the Battletoads was that they were all fairly even though they're all pretty buff and ripped, I remember them all being kind of goofball-y.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the one kind of cool guy. So I actually would choose Chris Pratt and Seth Rogen. So I just feel
yeah, okay, yeah.
I think I would really enjoy the chemistry between those two guys.
Oh yeah.
Chris Pratt and Seth Rogen. And then I wasn't sure who to pick for my cool guy. But when you said The Rock, that sounded really cool. But I don't know. He
just makes sense.
He kind of just does. Yeah.
He just he puts 110% into every role he does, you know?
Yeah. Otherwise, I would say I'm curious to know what a Mark Wahlberg would be like as the cool guy.
Oh, yeah.
I think there could be something there.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see a Mark Wahlberg Battletoad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Not bad.
Yeah. So sorry, yeah, go ahead.
No, I just said interesting.
Okay. Yeah, so I do have a few more.
Okay.
But I mean, if you have any that come to mind, just feel free to just shout it out.
Okay.
Ooh, actually, no, I can't do the one. Okay, so my next one is Megaman.
Megaman. Oh,
Megaman.
wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough because Mega Man to me always seemed young.
Mm-hmm.
But he is literally named Mega Man, isn't he?
He is, but he's a boy.
I don't know the Is he a boy? Okay, I don't know his backstory all that well. I've played Mega Man 1 and 2. I find them incredibly hard.
They're very difficult games.
Probably all of my experience of Mega Man is 1 and 2 and trying to beat them. I was really trying to challenge myself to beat them both, and I had to use save states, and I was able to beat 1 and 2 with save states I still found quite difficult. Which is funny because I can beat Metroid and I can beat Castlevania, but when it came to Mega Man, I don't know what it was. I found it very difficult. Maybe it's because the other two are linear. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So anyways, Mega Man, I don't know. I wanted to say Tom Holland because he was young, but I think that's kind of just like the cop-out way to go. You know who I'm going to choose? And it's for a dumb reason, but I'm going to choose the kid from Ready Player One. And he's going to be my Mega Man character. Because he's not a bad actor. He's just been given a weird slew of movies to be in. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to give him Mega Man because it's another character where he has to wear a visor for. Because he played Cyclops before and then Ready Player One.
Interesting.
So
okay.
then he'll go and play Mega Man. So
cool. Yeah. What is that guy's name? I have two in mind. But one is the guy who played in The Maze Runner.
He's
Dylan
a good
O'Brien.
actor.
Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah. That's a good pick, actually. I like that pick.
I think, either him or, Oh,
That's
shoot.
a really solid pick. I think that's like legit. I could see that.
Okay, well then I won't even say my second one because I totally forgot.
No, who's your second one?
I forgot, but I want to remember it because I thought it would have been fun.
Seth Rogen.
Mark Wahlberg. He's a
Megaman.
I was
Coming
picturing.
to a theater near you.
I'm picturing like a dirty blonde kid. Where is he in my head? Oh, this is gonna bother me. I won't be able to sleep.
I won't be able to sleep.
Oh shoot, I'm not gonna remember. But I just thought of another one. Who played the kid who played Bran in Game of Thrones?
Oh, yeah. I think he's okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Okay. All right.
I like your first one better.
Okay. Well, yeah. All right. We'll stick with him then. If I do remember the other one that I was thinking about, I'll mention it. But
okay. You weren't thinking Jojen Reed from Game of Thrones, were you? Who's also in Maze Runner?
No. Wait. Which one is Jojen Reed? Oh yeah. The one.
He's
who's
like the
Love
main
Actually.
character in Maze Runner. Yeah. Oh yeah. Love. Yeah. You're right. Love Actually.
Right. Yeah. No, not him.
No, not him. Hey, what about the guy who played Beast in the X-Men prequels?
Oh,
what's his name?
I'm sorry. Why don't I?
Is he too old now? He might be too old now.
He's a bit on the older side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he would have been okay before when he was in that Hugh Grant movie about a boy.
Yeah. Yeah. When he was. Yeah.
And he was in Cold Hearts? No. That like zombie movie, Cold Blooded.
Oh yeah.
Bloody. What is it? Cold. Oh man.
I can't remember.
What's his name? Who are you?
I don't know what this guy's name is. But he's pretty popular though. I think he got really popular later on. But he's a good actor though. But I think he's too old now, unfortunately.
Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah. Nicholas Hoult. That was it.
Okay.
I don't know. He's a little bit too old now, I think. But
I think so
he
too.
would have been a good Mega Man, I think, back in the day.
Yeah. I think. Oh, actually, yeah. You're right. He could have done a good job.
Ooh. No, Mad Max, of course. I forgot about that.
I just thought of another one. The kid who played in Ender's Game.
I never saw Ender's Game.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Is that any good?
I feel like it was okay. Did you read the book?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it was. It was interesting.
Hey, this kid looks young enough to be able to now these days be old enough to play Mega Man.
I think look-wise, he would have been perfect for it. And I think he actually could have done a good job of acting as the character. Now that I think about it. Anyway, enough of Mega Man. Okay. I thought of something because you were in the middle, like you mentioned it, but Castlevania.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now who are we casting? Simon Belmont, or are we doing like what the frick is his name? Other Belmonts. It's been a little bit now.
Trevor?
I've been out of the Castlevania. Oh yeah, Trevor.
Let's see. Who are the Belmonts? Let's see. Oh, nice list of. I like how Google actually got it when I searched up who are the Belmonts, and it gave me Wikipedia list of Castlevania characters. Thank you.
Yeah, so Trevor is the one from the Netflix anime show, but he's also the lead protagonist. I can't even remember the games now. I just recently went through them all, but that was like, well, I guess that was 2 months ago or so, and I've already forgot everybody. Simon was the first and second one's protagonist.
Okay. He's
Victor,
Christopher's descendant.
Leon,
Oh yeah, Victor.
It's a whole bunch of them. Anyways, I would probably cast Simon Belmont because he's one of the more popular ones. I would say Trevor and Simon are like kind of the two really popular ones in the Castlevania series. Simon's very He-Man-ish, and I think that's kind of like who he was inspired after. So I would cast a Chris Hemsworth style person as him.
Ooh.
Very Thor-like. I think I would do Chris Hemsworth for Simon Belmont.
If Simon Belmont is probably not like too old, right? Like when we see him portrayed.
Yeah, he's probably in his 30s. Yeah.
30s. Oh, okay. Because I would have wanted to say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know. Like he would have been perfect back in the day.
Yeah.
If they did Castlevania in like the 80s, like he'd be very Conan the Barbarian kind of style. And then for Trevor Belmont, that's an interesting one. I would, funny enough, I would probably use someone from Game of Thrones. Like, I'm thinking the guy who played Jon Snow.
Jon
Jon
Snow.
Snow,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
and or Robb Stark. I would think someone like one of those actors to play him. He's got a very
Interesting.
Stark-ish kind of features in my
Huh.
mind.
Okay.
He's got the brunette hair, and he's just got like the stoic kind of physique and all that. I don't know. I'm thinking Stark from Game of Thrones.
I'm trying to think of somebody who does a good job of playing very like not like snarky or like characters who are very like smug, you know.
Well, that's a good point. I guess he is quite smug in the Netflix adaptation, isn't he? I'm going kind of on the games, but yeah, I guess he is. In the Netflix one, he's got a lot of like sass to him.
Yeah.
He's actually voiced by Richard Armitage from
That's right.
who plays Thorin. So
Yeah,
I guess
in The Hobbit.
technically Richard Armitage could play him live action.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking for Alucard,
Oh yeah.
Paul Bettany.
Oh no, that's perfect. I mean, Paul Bettany's already played a vampire in that one with him and the other chick who looks just like a vampire. What's her name? The one who plays the chick in Doctor
Like
Strange.
what, Underworld? Oh,
You know
Tilda-
the sage person in Doctor Strange?
like Tilda
Whatever her-
Swinton?
Yeah, Tilda Swinton. They both played a vampire in this like vampire movie.
Oh, wait, no, wasn't that wasn't Paul Bettany? That was with
was it?
Tom Hiddleston.
Oh, you're right.
Only
Yeah, I got
Lovers
it
Left
wrong.
Alive.
Ah, you're right. Tom Hiddleston. I was thinking that was Paul Bettany.
Uh,
Well, whatever. They both could do it.
I think it'd be fine. Actually, wait. Oh. Yeah, Tilda Swinton as Alucard. I think she could do it.
I think she could play the other chick, the scientist chick, who like Dracula was in love with. I think she could do
Oh,
that.
like the one that Rachel McAdams plays.
Yes.
What's her name?
I can't remember.
Stephanie? Nope. Well, okay. Anyway, who else is in? Okay, so we need a Dracula.
Dracula.
Richard Armitage. I actually think he would do a good he would do a good Richard Armitage. I think Richard Armitage would do a good Dracula.
Yeah, you need somebody who can play somebody who looks old, but also has the agility of a young person. Like, somebody who, like, they can put makeup on to look old,
Yeah.
but is quite young in his movements and his speed and his battle and all that. I think they would need that.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. Yeah, Dracula's pretty sweet in that Netflix adaptation, though. You almost don't even want to make a live action because the adaptation's pretty good.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to ruin that image.
Yeah. So on that note, I would like to now get you to cast Samus Aran from Metroid. But I want it to be live action, so you have to make a real live action person.
Oh
Keep in mind, the
wow.
visor's probably going to be down for most of the movie, so it's a lot of it's voice acting.
That is
But maybe we'll get Zero Suit Samus at some point in the movie.
yeah. Okay, so I have two in mind, and they're one is more so on looks. The other one I think could be about acting ability.
Okay.
So I'll go acting ability first, and that would be Margot Robbie.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense, because the Harley Quinn kind of aspect to it.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I actually can't picture from the games or any like comic strip based stuff how Samus Aran's character really is, and like how the character talks or reacts, because mostly what I've seen is just like shooting monsters and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we could get enough of personality coming out of Margot Robbie. Like I'm sure she could do something that matches like a Samus Aran character. And otherwise, the one for looks, I don't know her name, but she's the one that's gonna be like she's the other Black Widow in the upcoming Black Widow movie.
Oh, okay. Black Widow's like sister or something?
Yeah, like a widow sister.
Yeah.
Black Widow. Because they're not like blood sisters, right? They're just
Oh, yeah, she does look like her, doesn't she?
Florence Pugh, Puff,
Florence
Pugh,
Puch. Pew.
Pudge.
Pudge.
Yeah.
Parchu.
So I think her. I mean, and that's mostly based on looks, because I'm not sure if I've really seen her in anything recently.
Right. I kind of like her. 'Cause she seems to have more of the physique of what I would want to see for Samus Aran.
Yeah, actually that's true.
I'm not a big fan of the overly sexualized Samus that we see today with the Zero Suit Samus stuff. To me, Samus is more like the Space Marine, almost of like a Doom era, who would go in and just destroy all the
Which
monsters
makes
and aliens.
so much more sense that she's a little bit more like toned and
Yeah,
buff,
she's a Marine Corps person who just happens to be stranded. It's very much like Alien, right? She just happens to be stranded on a ship with all the aliens and has to kill them all to survive. And then, much like Alien, she ends up getting like a hybrid, turning into a hybrid alien because she gets hit by one of the aliens, and then she kind of absorbs it, and she becomes the host Metroid. So I think there's a lot of personality to her in the fact that she wanted to kill all the Metroids in like a Nintendo game, right? So there's not much dialogue. To the point where then she ends up having to be the Metroid mother for these creatures, and then using that ability to help her continue on. I think there's so much there where we actually have a real strong female lead. And yeah, I would like to see somebody with the physique to be able to pull that off. And it looks like this person, like you said, this Black Widow sister chick from this new movie, it looks like she's got that. I wouldn't want to see Margot Robbie as the role, and only, that's not a knock on Margot Robbie, it's just based on what she's done. If we put Margot Robbie in that role, I feel like they would go into the overly sexualized version of Samus, and that's not why Samus is cool. She's cool because she has got a big gun and she kills a bunch of aliens.
Yeah, I think when I picture her, I wasn't thinking Harley Quinn. I was actually thinking of I, Tonya, even though that's kind of... It's because, like, at least in that one, we get, like, obviously we get her more, like, there's grounded personalities and kind of, like, really psycho. Like, we get extremes in terms of, like, a character.
Right.
But at least, like, I don't know how much of her athleticism shows in that movie, because I don't know how much of it is her versus like a stunt double, but I feel like now that we've seen some sort of like physicality from her, like, as I guess resembled somehow in like in her image in that movie, that I could see that kind of being transposed onto Samus Aran.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I like that topic. Bringing up Metroid.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you cast as the Metroid?
I would just CGI the Metroids.
I would have it as Mark Ruffalo.
A Benedict Cumberbatch. I think he's got the physique to be.
Oh, he would. I would.
Dracula. No, Alucard.
Oh.
Benedict Cumberbatch is Alucard.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Or Dracula. I don't know. I feel like he could do both.
Maybe he should also do Trevor Belmont. He should just do all of them. Just a solo Benedict Cumberbatch Castlevania.
Castlevania movie where he plays all the characters.
That'd be cool.
Okay, we need to think of one more. Do you have another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
A Goofy movie.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Is it live action?
Well, I guess it could be live action / CGI-ish, whatever.
Okay.
Hyper real. I mean, it's up to you. Yeah. I haven't thought of anything for this one yet.
Only because I've been watching Modern Family recently. The dad from Modern Family.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't think of another person right now who's really that same lovable father figure.
Yeah.
As Goofy back in the Goofy movie from back then. So yeah, that actor from Modern Family as the dad, because he already kind of plays a similar dad in Modern Family. Mm-hmm. So I can see that really easily. So he's Goofy. Now the son, I don't know. I don't know who plays the son. Like, that's tough.
It's really difficult.
Nobody else but you.
Yeah. If Michael B. Jordan were younger, I think I might want to cast him.
Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah, but I think he's too past that age gap now.
I love Michael B. Jordan. He's good in pretty much everything I've seen him in, which isn't all his work, but everything I've seen him in, he's good.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just don't see it.
I think like I'm more towards like the I'm kind of picturing the sort of in a Goofy movie, it's different. I feel like Max is a different kind of character from what he is in the cartoon, like a Goof Troop or whatever. No, sorry, not Goof Troop. Is it Goof Troop? Yeah, Goof Troop. Pretty sure. Yeah, that's right. Because Max is like a lot younger, and he's much more like eccentric, annoying teen. But then in the movie, he's grown up a little bit, and he's going through more of like puberty kind of stuff and battling with like relationships.
Yes.
So that's why I feel like I could see Michael B. Jordan portraying that Max versus like the much younger Max.
I see.
Otherwise, I'd also want a young Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh yeah, if you could time machine him back.
Yeah.
What about Tom Holland?
Oh, and yeah, I don't know if I can see it. I think the energy is there, but not the same. Like, it's almost like Tom Holland has too much charisma.
That's true. No, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Elijah Wood, circa 1998?
so like basically nobody currently can do it. We need to find somebody young.
I just don't know an actor today who's around that age.
A
that
young
works for
Michael
that. I just
Caine.
don't know it. Michael Caine.
a very adolescent Christopher Walken. Yeah, that's tough. Max is such a
Max.
Oh man, a young Will Smith. I think a really young, like a young Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince era, like young Fresh Prince era. Yeah, I can actually see that one. That one I can see.
Yeah. So then I guess because of that, maybe I would just go with Jaden Smith then.
Oh, hey, that's not bad.
It might work.
That could work.
Yeah. Wait, so it would be Jaden Smith and then Phil from Modern Family. That's our pick. Cool.
That is probably the most controversial Goof Troop recasting I think anybody's ever thought of.
Yeah. That's almost like that. I'd say that's on par with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith in like the Karate Kid remake.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
I love it. It's so funny.
Well, we tried.
Yep. We tried our best.
We tried.
Okay,
Yeah.
Let's move on to another thing because we're running a little bit late in the podcast here, which is fine because my topic is very short. So let's move into topic number 2.
Two.
And in this topic, I would like to bring your attention to a game that I've recently been shown, I guess.
Ooh.
And I'm finding it quite interesting from a coding point of view.
Oh.
So I was watching a YouTube channel I like to watch called NoClip. And NoClip is just, I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head right now, but he's from IGN back in the day, and he made his own documentaries on games now. So he's an independent documentarian or whatever.
Okay.
Goes around and does documentaries on video games. So NoClip on YouTube, you can watch his documentaries on games from the Doom 2016 through like Rocket League and the production of a bunch of other games and stuff. It's pretty well done. And he had one come out in the last couple of weeks here on a game called Dwarf Fortress. And
Dwarf Fortress.
it's a game that I've roughly heard of. It's a game that inspired Minecraft, and that's the only reason why I really knew of it. Mm-hmm. And then there's another game I like to play called RimWorld that I did hear was also sort of inspired by this game called Dwarf Fortress.
That sounds hilarious. RimWorld?
It's like a survival space colony sim game.
Oh, okay. Maybe I was picturing like Rimmerworld, like Red Dwarf Rimmer. Did you ever watch that show, Red Dwarf?
No.
Oh man, I wish you did. I'd love to talk about that with you.
I can check it out for next time.
Please. Oh, man. Sorry, go on.
So, Dwarf Fortress, I was like, so what is this? So I looked it up, and I watched the NoClip documentary on it, and it's a game that's been in production for a long time now. It's these two brothers that have been making this game for free on this website. And it is an ASCII game, so it's all done in, like... I shouldn't say it's all done in that, but it's done with ASCII graphics. So if you type in Dwarf Fortress and look at the graphics, it looks, as they say in the NoClip documentary, it kind of looks like The Matrix when you're watching it.
Yeah.
Now, some people make some mods to kind of visualize the game a little bit better. So actually, when I'm typing this in right now and looking at images, there's a lot of different versions of the same thing. But the ones that are the actual game are the ones that just look like random graphics on a screen. It looks really weird.
Yeah.
But that is the game. Now, the game, it's funny because it's still played quite a bit today. People love this game.
Wow.
And what's funny is it's one of the only games I can think of where a lot of people just watch the game, including myself. I tried to play it a little bit, and I didn't really know what was going on to the point where I'd rather just watch YouTubers play it because it's so intricate. I'd rather them play it and explain it to me than me playing it myself, if that makes any sense.
Okay, yeah.
But the game itself is modular. So the way it was made by the brothers was, let's start with one concept, which was building a world, and then add pieces to it over time. So for the last 20 years or so, they've just been adding more and more and more and more to the game. So it started as a game where you just built a world from scratch, and then you had your colony of dwarves, and you got them to kind of build up their settlement.
Okay.
But over time, they've added new things. Like there's new races, there's new monsters, there's new this, there's new that. There's a water system in there. Now there's a fire system added into it, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And now it's just this gigantic mess of a game that's got so much in it. It's huge, but to the point where he was explaining a bug report where cats were dying in taverns, and there was like just cats all over the taverns that were just dead corpses of cats. Okay. And he was explaining that it's so intricate to the point where what was happening was the cats were walking onto the tavern floor, and on the tavern floor there was mead that would have been spilt over from the dwarves, and the cats' paws would soak up the mead, and when they went to go and scratch themselves, when they would go to lick their paws to clean themselves, they were actually ingesting the mead. Now the mead was actually poisoning them, and that was killing them. And it was a bug because it's not what they meant to do at all. It just happened to work that way based on everything they had done modular into the game. They never planned for that. It's just something that happened, and they had to go and, oh, whoops. So they had to change some numbers and some variables, and boom, then the game was changed from there on. So I don't necessarily recommend anybody to go play this game, but I do recommend you to go check out the documentary of the game because it's such an interesting story. And the reason why I think this is kind of cool to bring up now is the game is about to have a Steam release, its first Steam release. So the two brothers that make it, one of the brothers, I guess, was diagnosed with cancer recently. And they've never asked for money for this game. And they did a Patreon after a while. Finally, their fans were like, just do a Patreon so we can give you some money, you know? Mm-hmm. And so they started taking some money from it. But now what they're doing is they're releasing a Steam version that visualizes the game better. So it actually has real graphics in it. Instead of the ASCII graphics. Just to make it a little bit more visual. And then it's going to have a Steam release so people can buy the game through Steam.
Right.
So that's about to happen soon. And I just figured this was kind of like the moment to start talking about it. So it's kind of cool.
Okay, so I'm actually just looking up. So like the regular graphics, it's very like pixelated, right?
Yes, it's all ASCII. So it's just symbols.
Okay, because I think this is what I'm looking at now is like the Steam design, like where it looks more like an SNES game.
Yes, exactly. And believe it or not, that's like the good graphics to it. Like that's insane graphics compared to the regular game. So cool. The regular game looks like a mess of symbols. Like you have no idea what it is. And like it's almost laughable when you watch these guys on YouTube playing the game and they're describing what's going on and you're kind of like, what are you seeing? Because it just looks like a bunch of symbols on screen. I'll admit, after about 10 minutes of watching them though, you'll start to see it yourself. It's weird how it just kind of jumps out at you and you go, oh, whoa, there it is. There's the cave, there's the mountain, there's the creature, there's the guy, there's the dwarf. Like, it's weird, but it all starts to jump out at you after a while.
Okay, so I'm trying to find... I want to find a video where people kind of go through gameplay. So it's like... you have to type... Wait. What am I looking at? Like, you type your commands, right? Or, no, that's click... That's just click-based.
Yeah, it's got like key commands in it. So like an A means something, B means something, C means something on a keyboard. You have to play this on PC. There's like no other way you can do it.
Yeah.
There's a really good YouTuber named Smash who actually narrates his stories and kind of tells you what's going on in his game. And I've been watching him a little bit, and he makes it makes a lot more sense watching him. So you watch just a little bit of his videos, and you'll pick up the base game pretty quick. He makes it look a lot easier than it really is. Okay. But he also explains it for people that don't know anything about Dwarf Fortress pretty quickly too. So he's a good one, and he's well known for that. So I'll send you the link right here. But for anybody else at home, if you're interested at all, I recommend checking out Smash. You can start with his Scorch Fountain episodes, and that's where he goes into his whole new world he just built, and he narrates it as he plays through it and goes through the storyline. And him and his wife, they actually design the characters. They draw them out and then throw them into their videos so you can see what the characters would look like. So it's kind of interesting. Because again, this game, it's so heavy in detail that all the dwarves have their own descriptions of appearance and everything and all that kind of stuff, but it's just not visual, which is crazy. But it goes to show you something key about coding and gaming and all that, is that it's not always about the fancy graphics. It can just be about what does your game do at the end of the day? What's the logic of the game? Yeah. I think that's all this game really is just full gameplay. So
it's funny that like as I'm looking up like the thumbnails for everything on YouTube, if you're trying to get that, like use that as like a reference for what it looks like, that's not gonna help.
No, not at all.
Like, yeah, it just like like you said, it's like staring into like a matrix screen.
Yeah, it reminds me similar to D&D, where it's like people explain to you what they did in their D&D campaign, but then you look at it and you're like, it's just a bunch of people with pen and paper, you know? And you're like, how is that what you just told me? But it's because a lot of it is in your head. But that doesn't negate the feeling of playing the game and still having that same thing happen, right? Obviously, when you play D&D and you're going on that quest and you're destroying that dragon or whatever, you might feel like you're doing that. And that's the whole point of gameplay, is the fact that it can really bring you to that moment, because your imagination is probably your best tool for games.
So what is the like end goal for this game?
I don't exactly know. I can't say much to that because, again, I haven't played the game myself, and I've only really just started watching these videos. Yeah. So I would assume, because I played a lot of RimWorld, I would assume that it's just about building up your colony and trying to survive as long as you can with your colony.
Let's see, I'm going to look up RimWorld.
So RimWorld is kind of a science fiction version of a very similar style game. It's much more visual than that. And it's an easier one to play for people that might be interested in this style of game. So I would suggest, if this at all sounds fun to you, go and play RimWorld first, because that's a great game. You can drop thousands of hours into that. But apparently, this Dwarf Fortress game takes it to like the next level because it has so much more in it. But I always found RimWorld was quite detailed. So.
And okay, so I guess if I understood it correctly, like with the whole like cats dying, it kind of sounded like because of the code, like the game kind of evolved on its own, like without
in a weird way. Yes, like he said that the reason they died was because of a poison update, right? Yeah. So it had nothing to do with the beer or the fact that the cats were licking their paws. Those are two separate things entirely. The fact they died is actually because of a poison update where they added the idea of poison because of certain things. So too much beer made their toxicity levels go a certain way, and then they died.
Man, wow.
So that was just not something they expected, right? The same thing would have happened if an orc or a totally different race happened to drink a certain amount of ale and it hit their vitals in that same way, right? So he was going on to explain later that eventually there was a point where people would get blood in their eyes, and it was something they added where, like, you kill something, they got blood in their eyes, and that could be an issue. And he explains that they eventually realized, like, well, people have eyelids, so they would have been able to blink and clean their eyes. He's like, so they started adding eyelids so they could blink and clean their eyes. But he said that it created this thing where they had to realize, like, who has eyelids and who doesn't have eyelids, and they had to go through like a list of like monsters that do and don't and all that, and it just got crazier and crazier. But it's all ones and zeros at the end of the day.
So okay, I'm trying to scrub through some videos, but like, how would you see that like a cat is dying from poison?
I'll send you the NoClip video.
Oh,
so
okay.
NoClip is where you can watch the documentary and you can see the guy explaining it.
Okay.
And I believe in there they do they show you the cat's dead. But it's literally the first story they tell you. That's kind of how they pull you into the documentary. So.
Oh, okay. They pull you into a story about how they accidentally killed cats in.
Well, because it's funny. It's like it's this thing where you're like, "What is this game?" It sounds so bizarre, you know.
I think
it works well. So.
Yeah, I think that's quite intriguing. Just like a thought on its own.
Exactly, and that's why it gets you. So as he explains more, I was just bewildered by this interview. I was like, this game sounds crazy. So it was a fun little interview, and it's totally broadened my mind on what's out there for gaming, I guess. Mm-hmm. And also like the concept of gaming. It's just an interesting kind of tidbit on just how games work.
Yeah, and I think that's probably important for people to realize. Well, I mean, maybe it's not super important, but it'd be great for people to realize like what goes on in the back end.
Right.
And like, so yeah, think about if you're thinking about a game like this where it's not graphically heavy, and it's really just about like, I guess, the mechanics, just how the game works, and then when you think about how some other games that are more maybe not necessarily more complicated, but like they're graphically heavy and they require some sort of skill to understand how to like utilize your like main character and like combos, like attacks, for example. Like say if you're like playing like Spider-Man, for example, it's not like it's an extremely huge world, but there's a lot that you can do in a small amount of space. So like you can shoot a web, and you can shoot yourself up, and you can do all these kind of different flips, and you can shoot web one way, shoot a web another way. You can zip, you can go slow, you can drop and speed and go like go straight to the ground and like catch web again. So anyway, like they're like very simple things that you can do, but just imagine how much code you actually have to put in the
Of
back
course.
end to make all that work. And then, but at the same time, it's all that code plus the fact that it's running concurrently with like really nice graphics to make it look super realistic.
Exactly, and that's what they talk about in the interview as well. Is that it's like there's no limitations to what they're doing because it is based on code that doesn't need sprite animations or anything like that. There's no 3D models they now need to change for things. If they want to add something, they can add it, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I do love that aspect, and as somebody who wants to make games myself, it's fun to think about the idea that they're just like not held back by anything, and they only hit walls when they haven't thought through their logic well enough, right? So all they have to do is go back through their logic and go, oh, we just need this to be a thing. Then done.
Yeah.
Like instead of having to go find like 30 animators to now make Spider-Man swing a certain way, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like do a whole bunch of mocap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's something fun about it that I just really enjoy, and I think it's cool. So very good interview that broadened my mind a bit on gaming, and I want to bring attention to it. So
Yeah, cool. Thanks for bringing that up. That
problem.
that actually does sound really interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, well, that's my topic. That is our topics of today.
Great.
Anth0z, without further ado, where could the audience find you?
Well, if you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at Anth0z1. That's at ANTH0Z1.
And if you want to find me, you can also find me at Twitter at Mattbrush Gaming. Or if you want to hear this podcast in video format, and you could also kind of use your eyeballs when you're hearing it,
Kinda.
go to YouTube and type in Mattbrush Gaming there as well.
Do it.
And you'll see the Scumm Bar podcast. Or if you want to listen to this just as a podcast like most normal people would, go to any of your favorite podcasting platforms and type in the Scumm Bar podcast.
Yes.
And we should be there.
should be. We
I'm
will
crossing my
be.
fingers. We should be there.
We are there.
If you want to send us an essay about your thoughts and opinions on these games or our terrible casting for the Goof Troop movie,
Our best casting.
send us an email at thescumbarpodcast@gmail.com or on any of our YouTube videos or on our on the podcast itself. If you leave us a like or a 5-star review, you can tell us how we're doing. That would be amazing.
If you want to send us some fan art, you can depict The Rock as one of the Battletoads and send that in. That would be great.
I would love that.
That would be so cool. I think The Rock is the kind of person who would be like, hey, that's cool, and he'll put it on his Instagram, and then
That's true.
you the artist, would then be famous. So, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. Do it.
Anth0z, I believe there were some words you wanted to say to the audience, and I'll just let you have the floor.
Crashing down from all around brings focus to the means. But when you strive for roundabout ways, you'll find yourself on your knees. Full stop.
Full stop. Over and out.
And done.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.